Do me a favor. Look
The
into the
name's
camera.
Faramir.
Look into the camera and say, "I'm sorry I let you down, Father. I'm sorry I'm not Boromir."
I'm sorry I let you down, father.
Holy
I'm
shit!
sorry I'm not Boromir. The
I can't
name's
even tell the difference.
Faramir. That is wild. We're live, by the way. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tonight We Review. We review, not review. We. That sounds made up.
Tonight, Jake destroys.
Ah, he's a hater.
No, I'm not a hater. There's issues.
It was so
But
fun, though. I don't care what anyone says, dude. It was so
I
fun.
I was actually just gonna say before we get into if you hadn't seen the original, don't get me wrong, still has some issues. But if you haven't seen the original, I can see how you could enjoy this show. If you've seen the original, it does nothing more than to piss you off. But before we get into that, this podcast is brought to you by our friends, the band Again and Forever. Their new album has just been, I should say, their full album has just been released. And a little bit later on in the show, I am going to play you all my favorite song from said album. At least part of it. I don't know. Virus is cool with us playing it though. Because, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to play it all because you should all go listen to it and stream the album because you don't even have to buy it anymore because it's all digital and shit.
Yeah, and shit.
And shit. But yes, more on them later. So, yes, tonight we will be talking about Netflix's live action in air quotes because over half of it was CGI. So, is it really live action? But live action adaptation of Yu Yu Hakusho. And they weren't kidding because they crammed half the series into 5 episodes. Poorly, I might add.
1 second before we get going crazy, let's double check.
Oh, right.
Well, you think you'll be just fine without me, but you're mine. Just fine. How can you kick me out? What is mine?
Mine. We can just create an endless loop.
Dude, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna be like, yeah, let's unsubscribe.
No, if anything, I don't know if you saw the comment thread that I was going. The only reason I was engaging with this person is because they weren't being a mega douche and start out calling me names and whatnot. But
Mega douche, I love that band. I mean, Megadeth.
but yeah, I don't know if you saw that comment thread on the Vivek video.
The one you were going back and forth with.
Yeah,
you
where
only
somebody
went back, you only had like 2 comments. Yeah, and I'm fairly certain I read it, and yeah, your rebuttals were spot on. I was like, what the hell is this guy even going on about?
Well, but not only that, like they're getting frustrated, and I'm just like, you asked me, and I'm telling you, I am answering your question, and you have a problem with my answer.
It's the internet.
It's like, I know, but the whole time I'm just like, I don't understand what you want from me other than you want me to say, you know what, you're right, but I'm not going to because if I didn't do it for Vivek, I'm sure as shit not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, speaking of losing subscribers, I don't think I'm going to lose subscribers on this one because I'll be honest, the show was it was cute.
Cute. Oh, dude, the main actor, man. Like
First of all, does this guy have scoliosis or something? Because he never is doing anything but this. He's always like,
I think that's like his body language portrayal of like basically I don't know the world nothing. Like he does not care about anything, but he does.
Yes, and that's true of Yusuke in episode 1. Because
he starts to change.
Not in the live action series really, and then everything. So my biggest problem, well, I have 2 big problems with the Netflix adaptation. One is nobody earns anything in that show, and it's a byproduct of the second issue, which is the fact that holy shit, this is like Yu Yu Hakusho abridged without the jokes. Like this was a speed run, and because it was a speed run, the show lost everything that made it unique and special and none of the characters earn anything. And since, to be fair, I've seen the original and I love the original, so I know where the story's going. And they changed some things, and none of the things they changed were good. And because they were trying to get through this at a breakneck pace, which, let's be real, they were trying to capitalize on One Piece. This was rushed.
That's what a lot of people are really irritated about. They feel like it was rushed because One Piece was such a hit, and then they just rushed to get everything out. And they're starting to talk about Dragon Ball now, and I'm just like, leave it alone. We already had
But
Evolution.
but they won't. And you see, here's the thing though, and this might be a hot take. In my opinion, I'm not saying Yu Yu Hakusho is better than Dragon Ball, but in terms of story, like in terms of the overall story arcs, Yu Yu Hakusho, Yu Yu Hakusho's better until the last arc, and then it's just kind of it's meh. But basically, from the start to the end of Chapter Black, it's written incredibly well. The characters are written incredibly well. Like, it's shonen, I get it. There's a lot of fighting, but and I'm gonna go deep into the Dark Tournament and why I really hate the live action adaptation of Yu Yu Hakusho, because they took the best parts of the show and either eliminated them entirely or condensed them to the point where they no longer had any impact whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, how did you like MGK as Kazuma? Did you see that? He looked like where did they film that? What was it? Was that in Japan?
Yeah, it would have been in Japan.
Okay, yeah, that's the Japanese MGK. I
Yeah,
shit you
cool.
not. It looks just like him.
Which, and you know what? I was curious about this because both Yusuke and Kuwabara have hairstyles in the manga and anime that you can't. They're cartoon versions of hairstyles that were popular in the late 80s, early 90s in Japan. You can't really replicate them well in live action. So I was curious how they were going to do it. Honestly, I feel like that was something they did really well. I didn't like Kurama or Hiei's hair. In fact, everybody that had a fake hair color, it looked super fake. Like, they're obviously wigs, and I'm over here just like, they make hair dye. Or they make better wigs too. Like,
I can't remember the name. He
Hiei.
So what is going on with the actor that they got to play him? I was like, is that a girl?
So I think I understand what they were going for.
Oh,
It didn't work.
I'm assuming probably like genderless or something like that.
No, it's Hiei's not feminine, but Hiei is small. He is of short stature. But that's why his character works, because he's small, fast, and super tough. And for a long time, and I still like Hiei, but for a long time, Hiei was my favorite character because he was the most unassuming. But he's probably not pound per pound the strongest, but he's the surprise. Well, actually, Genkai is probably pound per pound the strongest, but until Yusuke. Oh, but anyway, God, there's so much to go into. But what I will say, the series for me started out at like a 7, and by the time I was done, it's a 2. It's not. I'm not going to say it's not good, because technically speaking, I mean, some of the effects were left a little to be desired, but I'm sure they weren't given a sufficient budget. It's the script. The story of this is way too rushed. They gloss it's normally I complain about these things by saying it's like they never saw the source material. No, this is even worse. This is like the writers of this show watched or read the original manga or watched the original anime and were like, okay, we know everything there is to know about Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's get rid of everything that is good about it and just do a highlight reel of action, which, don't get me wrong, some of the fight choreography was really good. Some of it was kind of dumb. But everything that gives this show its soul in the original is not in the live action adaptation. And it's probably because, like you said, they tried to cram it into 5 episodes because
They crammed so much into 5 episodes.
they literally crammed 2.5 arcs
Yeah.
into 5 episodes. They crammed the first 3 3/4 seasons of the show into 5 episodes and combined other arcs because the last 2 episodes were basically smushing together the Saint Beast arc with the last round of the Dark Tournament and kind of sort of the aftermath of Chapter Black. 3 events which are barely related, mind you. And there are so many other things I could just so let's what did you think of the show?
Well, I'm not that hard to please. You know me. I love anime and just like the next guy. But I mean, I'll tell you, like Dragon Ball, Evolution. That was like horrible. But I've been watching a little bit of One Piece, the live action series, and it's decent. I can't seem to fully get into it. But when it came to Yu Yu Hakusho, the live action, I don't know, dude. I've seen the source material. I started watching it again, and I still fell in love with it again. But I don't know, dude. There was just something about the live action that was just. I liked the character that they had play Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm assuming you didn't like him, but
I didn't hate it, but
I don't know. Like he reminded me of Han from Fast and the Furious.
mm,
Like he like his mannerisms, how he was, how he just didn't care. Everything was just like, man, it's okay. I don't know if you ever watched Fast and Furious, but
I've seen it, yeah. But
okay.
my big it's not so much with the
Family.
actor. It's all about the family. No, the thing about Yu Yu Hakusho is essentially it is an arc from Yusuke being a selfish kid who only cares about himself, and by the end of it, he feels the responsibility that he has not only as spirit detective but as like basically a protector of not only Earth but also his immediate and surrogate family. And Yusuke's journey is a journey of mature responsibility. Which okay, so my biggest gripe with the whole thing is basically Genkai. Everything to do with Genkai in the live action show is done terribly. But the biggest part, and probably because it's my favorite episode of the show, is when Genkai gives Yusuke his spirit orb. So, just to put this in perspective, Yusuke meets Genkai in the second, like, they're short arcs in the beginning. In the second arc of the series, he meets Genkai for the first time. Genkai gives Yusuke her spirit orb at the very end of the, let's see, one,
Like
two.
it was like the third episode.
But he meets Genkai and gets her spirit orb in the same episode in the live action series.
Oh, dude,
And I'm sorry.
it was all rushed horribly.
Yeah.
I get
Well,
that.
but I'm just putting this in perspective, and I was wrong. He meets Genkai in the third short arc of the series because I forgot about the Hiei and Kurama and Goki and all them. But anyway, so basically in Yu Yu Hakusho the series, you have the Yusuke's dead arc, which is the few short episodes where he dies and then he gets his body back. Then you've got the Kurama, Hiei, and Goki, which are the three objects or whatever, where he fights Goki, Kurama, and Hiei. Then it's the Saint Beast arc. And no, I'm sorry. Then it's the Rando arc or the Genkai tournament arc. That's where he meets Genkai. Then it goes forward from there. So let's see. Yusuke and Kuwabara meet Genkai in the third arc of the series, which is, I think, like 12, not even 12 episodes in. And he doesn't get her spirit orb until the end of the Dark Tournament, which would be the Genkai, the Saint Beast, Yukina. So at the tail end of the sixth arc is when Goku, when Yusuke gets, when Genkai gives Yusuke her spirit orb. And just the spirit orb absorption alone takes place over 2 episodes. Because Yusuke doesn't just take it. It's agonizing. It's painful. He has to earn it. And he might die from it. Genkai tells him. At one point, Genkai tries to take it out because he's in too much pain. And he literally tells her, "Give me that back, you bitch. Don't tell me what's good for me," and shoves it back in. And the moment where Yusuke fully absorbs it. So this is something the show doesn't even go into. At the very beginning of the series, Yusuke has a spirit egg. It's something Koenma gives him, which I've got my issues with Koenma too. The egg is a reflection of Yusuke's soul, and eventually in the Dark Tournament saga, it hatches to show Pooh, which is a little, imagine a penguin with floppy ears and a black patch of hair on his head. It's a reflection of Yusuke's soul. Now, when Yusuke's going through this ordeal, Pooh is also very, very ill. Pooh finds Yusuke, and it's the most pitiful thing ever, and it works so well. Pooh is trying to bring Yusuke water, but Pooh is miserable too, so he keeps falling over and failing because he's in pain as well. And at one point, he just gives up. Like Yusuke, he's just lying there about to die. And then basically there's a cave-in that happens. And Yusuke, who can't move at this point because it's too painful, has to jump up. And he jumps up and blood literally squirts from every one of his appendages because, pain. And he's stumbling and the rocks are falling. And then Justin Cook delivers this line of perfection. He screams, "Screw this test. I'm getting us out of here." Screams a DBZ level scream. And at that point, the spirit orb fully integrates into Yusuke. He's able to blow away the rubble and he's fine. But it's earned is what I'm getting at. Yusuke has to earn Genkai's power. And he goes through hell training with her. And Yusuke physically gets stronger over time to the point where he can even handle Genkai's spirit orb.
Yeah, so basically in the show he just gets it all and is able to use it almost instantly. Cool. Well, actually, not right away. He gets a spirit orb in the show, and then it takes like what, 2 episodes for it to, a whole episode for him to figure out how to use it.
Well, no, that's just it. So he doesn't have to use it because it's the same technique he's been doing, which is something the show kind of gets wrong. There's nothing to master. He has to master the spirit wave technique, which he started doing with the spirit gun. All the spirit wave is being able to manipulate your spirit energy at will, which means being able to integrate it into punches, kicks, the shotgun, or just in general the spirit wave. But he's already doing this because he's manipulating spirit energy with the spirit gun. So, but he learns the spirit wave before he gets Genkai's orb because he has to be able to use the spirit wave to even use the orb. To use the energy. All the spirit orb is Genkai's collected and stored energy over years. So it's just a power boost, but it's a power boost that his body has to be able to acclimate to, which requires a certain degree of strength to begin with.
I gotta ask you, what happened to your picture behind you?
It fell. I gotta get new. Yeah, it fell.
Adhesive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. I was like, his picture fell. And I was like, I didn't know if you knew. And I was like, surely he knows.
It's fallen off in the middle of a podcast before, actually. It fell one time. I just need to add more, I think.
That's never happened to us. That would scare me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh.
So, I mean, yeah, like it's, I always go into an adaptation like with a fresh mind and try to give it all the benefit of the doubt. But like, you're very correct. Like, as a fan of the anime, they did a piss poor job. But in the, if someone hasn't seen the anime, they could easily be entertained by this and like it.
They can.
So this is bringing new audiences in, and then they'll find the anime,
which is why I'm still glad this got made.
Exactly.
I am. I'm still glad this got made. But my issue with the changes aren't so much that they're changes. It's the fact that even then, because I don't care if you change things as long as it's done well. But these changes weren't done well. Like, let's take, for example, Kurama's demon form. It doesn't make sense. Kurama does get his demon form back, but it's in the Dark Tournament, and it's with the aid of a foreign object, the Idun box. Because the whole point of Kurama's character is that he can't be in his demon form because he is locked into Suichi Minamino's body. They are one and the same. Kurama can't become a demon because he is trapped inside of a human body. The Idun box enables him to do that because what it does is it regresses the affected user in age. The problem is, once Kurama gets past infancy, he automatically reverts back to his demon form. That's how it works. But in the show...
They didn't even explain any of that.
Well, in the live action show, first of all, Karasu already knows, which, okay, in the Dark Tournament arc, Karasu does know about Yoko Kurama, but that's only because it happened in a previous fight by sheer chance, sheer accident that the person with the Idon box just so happened to be paired with Kurama. So Karasu does know about it, but Kurama does it by taking the fruit of the previous life. It's a whole thing. It's explained in the anime. But in this adaptation, Karasu is just like, why do you fight in that human form? If Kurama can transform into his demon form at will, why the fuck would he not do so in every fight he's in? Ever. This doesn't make sense.
That would make the episode not long enough.
I understand that, but that's a stupid reason to do so. And then we've got the Dragon of the Darkness Flame, which they don't even name in the live action adaptation, which that has its whole entire arc. Okay, let's back up. So one of the reasons Hiei is such a badass character is precisely because of the Dragon of the Darkness Flame technique, which I will admit looks really cool. The problem is they don't explain how it works and how dangerous it is. So what the Dragon of the Darkness Flame is Hiei uses his own spirit energy to lure out a dragon from the depths of Demon World. And once he's released it, he cannot control it. It's a very, very risky technique. If he's not strong enough, or if he screws up, or just something happens, he can be consumed by the flame too. Now, Hiei's arc in the Dark Tournament is him mastering the Dragon of the Darkness Flame, which culminates in his fight with Bui. By the way, spoiler alert like hell.
Spoiler.
He tricks Bui into deflecting the Dragon of the Darkness Flame back at him so that he can absorb it and integrate it into his body for an insane power boost. However, in this show, he just kills Bui with it.
I have a mouthful of water. Sorry.
Yeah. Which, again, if Hiei's having that much trouble with Bui, why doesn't he just use the Dragon of the Darkness Flame from the beginning?
Plot.
That's what I'm saying. And then Kuwabara, first of all, his spirit sword's the wrong color. Secondly, Kuwabara unlocks the spirit sword on his own by watching Yusuke use the spirit gun and putting it together in his head. Instead, in this show, Kuwabara is just a moron who Genkai says, hit that rock with wooden sticks until it breaks. And then he just magically, because he has heart, I guess, manifests a spirit sword when he has no idea how to manipulate spirit energy. It just kind of happens. The whole point in the show is that Kuwabara is intuned. His whole family actually is, because his sister Shizuru she can sense energy and all that stuff too. Kuwabara can see Botan when other people can't. His family is in tune to the spirit world, which is how he can figure out how to manipulate spirit energy on his own, because he's already sensitive to it.
Yeah, but in the anime, it actually took quite a bit of time for him to actually get anywhere with it. But in the live action, what was it, like the second episode, right? Or maybe third?
I mean, to be fair, Kuwabara does get his spirit sword fairly early, but at least give him credit, he figured out how to do it. And then he improves upon it, because it actually says in the anime, using spirit energy takes a lot out of you. So it's not like Kuwabara can just always use his sword for however long he wants. So he increases his ability to do so. And prior to the Dark Tournament, he trains with Hiei and Kurama and learns a lot. And then later, he's given an artifact that boosts his power and ultimately enables him to master his his dimension sword, which can cut through different dimensions.
Man, I didn't stop watching Yu Yu Hakusho. My Crunchyroll free
trial.
Trial ran out, and I was like, I can't afford anything at this moment. But anyway, so I was watching it, and I was trying to watch as much as I could before we did this. And yeah, it ended like 4 days ago.
Well, if you want to watch the Japanese version, it's on Tubi. But I'll be honest, I actually prefer.
I love the dub, dude.
I
Love
love
the
the
dub.
dub. It's one of the best dubs Funimation ever did. It's very, very good.
I just love how everybody, including like gods and whatnot, just thinks Yusuke is such a piece of shit. And like literally anyone watching the show, there's like he is a narcissist, but he's like a selfless narcissist.
Yusuke is a person who has a good heart but has problems with authority. But that's because, and again, they go into this. He was a punk kid because he didn't respect anybody, but nobody ever saw anything in him. So why did he have any reason to do anything? Now, then he died, and that threw everybody for, and that's the whole point. Yusuke died when he wasn't supposed to because nobody would have ever predicted that Yusuke would sacrifice his life for a stranger.
A stranger whom he helped get a balloon.
Yeah, and in
or
the
no,
show,
no ball, not a balloon.
the ball, yeah, which that happens in the anime too. But again, that's part of Yusuke's journey, and as other people care about him, he starts to care about other people, and it's a very very shonen story.
Well, and then the adaptation, he was 17, and in the show he was 14, right?
When it starts, yes.
Yeah. So in the anime, I didn't mean show. The anime,
Yeah.
he was 14, but in the show, it started when the live action when he was 17.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, because they make a point in the first few episodes of the anime. They make it very clear that Yusuke and Kuwabara are in junior high. Yeah, I'm Kuwabara, the #2 punk at Sariaski Junior High.
Because the funny thing is, Kuwabara, his attitude and personality is that of a junior high school, not high school, middle
Oh
school.
my goodness! Welcome. Is this Justin or the incomparable Jordan? By the way, it's a 5-episode series.
They rushed the shit out of it, but
Oh God, they did. Okay, what am I going to bitch about next? Because I honestly have I can bitch about everybody.
Oh man.
Okay, I'll start with Koenma. The entire joke of Koenma is lost on this show because it's one of those things. If you've seen the original, you know the joke, but they don't do the joke. And if you've never seen the anime, you're like, why the fuck does this dork have a pacifier in his mouth? They don't explain it. Koenma is a baby because Koenma is the son of King Enma.
I had to explain that to my wife.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know. And the pacifier actually does come into play later in the anime.
It's Justin.
Well, but the problem is, Koenma does have a teenage form that he uses, but it's part of the joke. Because Koenma is a baby. He's a literal baby.
Yeah, that like at first it had been a long time since I'd seen the anime, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, why does this guy? I only ever watched the anime one time. I didn't get into it a whole bunch, but anyway, so that's why I was wanting to go back and rewatch it. But when he had the pacifier, I'm just like, why does he have a fucking pacifier? And I was thinking maybe it's like tied to his power, and then because I completely forgot, and then I ended up looking it up, and I was like, yeah, it's tied to power. So I was like,
Well,
okay.
but that's not revealed until much later
Way
in the
later,
show.
way
Because
later.
but the pacifier makes sense because Koenma is a literal baby. So
Yeah, that is absolutely true. They're trying to put like how many episodes was Yu Yu Hakusho? It was like 100 and something, right?
Oh, it was yeah, it was.
Well, so yeah.
And it's not a particularly long shonen anime either.
No, I mean obviously it ended, but like they could easily have 5 episodes. I'm assuming there's gonna be
112 episodes.
They put everything within 5 episodes, didn't they?
Not everything, but
No, I mean the complete story from beginning to end, without like a lot of good information that we could have used.
even if you eliminate the last arc, which many people, it's not that they don't count it, but it's like bonus material.
Mm.
There's still another arc after the end of the Dark Tournament, which is also very, very good. But they had elements of that. So yeah, I guess in a way, they eliminated the very, very last arc, which I'm fine with. I usually don't watch it.
Sure, no
Um,
second season.
yeah, they don't have any fucking material.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting at. I was like, man,
Yeah, it's gone. It's done. There's nothing. Like
maybe the side stories that we didn't get, they could have sent not a second season, but they could do like a side side
they
something.
could even if they condensed certain things, they still could have done a 4 season show.
I would like to see that actor again. Like I said, I don't know, dude. Like I liked his charisma. I liked how he acted and whatnot.
I'm sorry, I didn't dislike his portrayal of Yusuke. My issue is we didn't get to see Yusuke grow because the way he's playing Yusuke is very close to Yusuke at the beginning of the series. It's nothing like Yusuke at the end.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like he literally stayed the same person throughout. Like it seemed like he already had those qualities within him, and that's why he saved the kid. You know, like he saw that. Like in the episode on the anime when he saves the kid, like he doesn't really like. It doesn't seem emotional. It seems like he just did it. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah,
But
that
in
does. Yeah.
the adaptation, he was emotional about it
Yeah, I can see
a
that.
bit.
And
Like not. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, which I mean, characterization portrayal. I was very curious to see how they were going to do Kuwabara. I didn't mind the characterization. I just again had some issues with how the story of the character was written.
Oh, Japanese MGK.
Yeah, Japanese MGK. Yeah. Um. So okay, I already bitched about Karama. The character again, the actor didn't really do a bad job, although he came across as a little bit less calm than Karama normally is. But that's pretty nitpicky. That's nitpicky territory. Hiei again didn't really hate it, although some of these characters are stupid to their own detriment, which seems to be another problem with a lot of newer shows in general. Like Hiei is stubborn, yes, but Hiei does team up with other people when he needs to, i.e., the Dark Tournament, i.e., the Saint Beasts. He talks a big game, but he doesn't actually always go off on his own because Hiei's not stupid.
What did you think of the CGI for Kurama's demon form?
Well, I mean, I don't think
I
they.
thought. Well, I mean, I wouldn't really. I don't know what it was, but like, it
Well, no,
was.
the tail was fake, yeah, and
Oh
the
yeah,
tail
but
was obviously
everything else
fake.
about it looked pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty true to the anime, and I think that was practical, save for the tail, which really didn't make much sense. But
It was kind of a
because I
shadow
mean,
tell, wasn't it?
it's not like you can't make a prosthetic tail. Like,
It's Pikachu. Does he have the stripe on the tail or not? Or the black
I
on the
did.
end of the tail, or was it a solid yellow tail?
It's white. It's supposed to be white. I didn't even see the stripe on the tail.
Well, I was gonna say the Mandela effect. They say that the tail like was dipped in black at the very tip, and I was like, I remember that too.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed, but I know part of my disappointment was so let me bitch about Genkai.
Well, hold on a second. It's Netflix, and they only like to do one seasons of shows anyways. So
Fair.
anyway, all right, now Ginkai. What about that bitch? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, okay, so that's actually
I
another
liked
thing.
her. I liked her in the adaptation. I thought the actor that got to play her was actually pretty decent.
Actually, yeah, again, the casting was actually quite good, except I didn't really care for Botan. But again, that's getting into nitpicky territory.
Yeah, Botan didn't make sense in that whatsoever.
So Botan as a character is more not silly, whimsical, I guess. Whereas in the live action adaptation, they seem to be going more for a cute thing.
No, my bad. I gotta change. I gotta change that. No, Botan was okay. It was Koenma because of the age difference that
Well,
didn't make
I
sense.
didn't particularly care for
So
Koenma, but actually his
Botan can
characterization,
stay. She can
Botan
stay.
can stay. Like I said, that's not a hill I would die on.
I would walk through that hill on fire.
At least they got Yukina's kimono right. I will say that. And Tarukane and Sakyo were, like I said, the casting for the most part, although the Tagoro muscle effect, eh, eh.
Eh, eh.
They I guess it's one of those things. You didn't have the budget to do it, so I would say don't do it. But it's kind of important.
It is important. Sorry about that. I had to check on
That's
something.
like that's his power set. I think they could have gotten more creative with it instead of just being like, just do shit CGI on it.
Well, I mean, they they must have been working with the Flash producers.
I mean, look, case in point, look at look at what they did with Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy. They did the muscle suit,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah, dude.
and
That
it
was a
looked real.
great movie.
It looked real though. That's what I'm saying.
You watched Free Guy, right?
I started watching it. I didn't finish it.
Aw, dude,
I
it's
know it's.
good. Did you get busy or did you not like it?
I got I got busy,
Both.
but I didn't love it. But I do want to finish it.
Yeah, do finish it. Like it's a decent flick.
Oh, what's up, Sosa and Justin? You're absolutely right. All these live
So
action
so.
adaptations are suffering from a speed run issue. Yeah, no, I'll finish it. I'll finish it.
He said, "I believe Ryan Reynolds' face CGI'd onto a bodybuilder." I thought it was too.
Okay, I might be wrong, but either way, it looked better than Tagoro.
Well, they also probably put more money into it.
Well,
Japanese MGK doesn't have that much.
I'm just saying. Hey, case in point, Godzilla minus one was 15 million.
Woo! Godzilla.
That's all I'm saying. Godzilla minus one was 15 million, and it looked like that. Which, by the way, for those that don't know, Godzilla minus one minus color is hitting theaters late on January 26th, I believe. So, yeah, good job, Godzilla.
I knew you were a nerd, and no, I'm just kidding. I am too.
Well, no, I think it's kind of cool. So they're re-releasing Godzilla minus one, but in black and white. So
You know what? Gonna have
I
to watch
feel
it.
I feel like I want to watch it. I think I'm going to prefer the color version, but it'll kind of feel nostalgic
Can
a
can
bit.
can we get the 3D glasses too?
Fuck no,
The
fuck
the
3D.
red and blue ones. It's so real.
I don't know what was your comment, Sosa? Yeah, what Justin says. I like the movie, but it would be nice if when someone wrote a movie about video games, they would actually pick up a video game.
No, that makes too much sense.
Oh yeah, Sosa, I agree 100%. And I actually like how in Godzilla minus one, I talked about this with Justin. Is they did there's just a touch more sepia to make it a little bit closer to like archive color footage, like World War II color footage, which I really really liked. But I am kind of excited to watch Godzilla minus one minus color.
So what comment are you talking about? Reference to Eric?
Yeah, apparently they did because I didn't see it, buddy.
I mean, he's never said anything that would get erased. That doesn't make any
No, but
sense.
this has happened to us before because this happened to Toast before.
He got erased.
I don't f YouTube, man.
Dude, like our watch time. I know watch time. Like obviously it, goes from year to year, but it's been like really fluctuating here lately, and I'm just like, what's going on?
Justin says that
YouTube is super sensitive.
Yeah, very.
Just artistically
Justin,
speaking.
so Justin says that he and Jordan don't understand why they would take a movie in color and make it black and white purely to make it feel like the original 1954 Godzilla, and so that they can do a second theatrical run because technically it's not Godzilla minus one, it's Godzilla minus one minus color.
it's basically just another gimmick to make more money. Because they're gonna have nostalgia. It's basically nostalgia. Nostalgia.
It's a nostalgia play, but
well.
But for me, it's working. Not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying, man. All you need to do, literally, anybody should do this, and you don't even have to credit me. Just make a '90s podcast. I guarantee you, it would pick up. You know
I'm
what?
Still waiting.
You know what? Screw it.
You and Nick make up your button around the corner.
Well, I was gonna say when we sell this house, I've already committed to 2 months of content creation, so therefore I might get on that.
Get with Nick. It's already
90s
been named.
fool. I even got the 90s. Not Boromir, Faramir.
Actually, you know what? If you parted it a little, you could do two things. You could do Jonathan Taylor Thomas by moving it all to one side, or you can do the fuck was the older brother Brad on Home Improvement, just kind of floof it down the middle.
Are you okay? I'm trying to keep up on these
Oh, don't get me started about Zack Snyder's Justice League being in fucking.
algorithm.
Although I would say the Snyder cut of Justice League was more grayscale than black and white, but yes, definitely. I had a hot take on that one too, and everybody said I was wrong, but I'm not.
Sosa, I will say though, I did kind of foresee something, and I was like, Jake, I was like, I don't have time to do this. I was like, can you please put this together really quick? And it took off. So I think we're starting to figure some of that stuff out. I was like, yeah, you do this long enough, and you don't have anything coming in, you kind of start to learn some things. If it's not working.
Well, you start seeing the patterns,
Yeah.
but yeah, fun,
Dude, we appreciate you. Seriously, man. Like,
very much. Yeah, I know you guys have a lot of hot takes, and I'm here for it because you're the only other person that shares my hatred of Batman Returns.
hold on.
Justin, not you.
No, that's what I knew you was talking to him. What?
Yeah, Batman Returns, man. It's not a good movie.
But it's Batman Returns.
Okay, and it led to Batman and Robin, which I love for the cheese, but not in terms of being a good movie.
So Batman Returns. Was that Val Kilmer?
No, that was Michael Keaton, but it was
Well,
the
was it
second Michael Keaton.
Okay. Here.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm joking. When people
Check it out.
people say what the originals and whatnot, the original was fucking sick. But then the second one, Returns, I'm just like, what the hell is this shit, man? I'm just like, I mean, obviously, he couldn't turn his head in the first one, but it just played differently.
I know. Do me a favor. Yell. I'm Michael Keaton in Batman Returns. Yell Batman for me.
Batman. What?
Huh?
I'm sorry, headphone users. I just killed you. YouTube, please don't flag that. It was not a threat. It's not a threat.
So wait, Sosa, are you talking about Batman Returns or Snyder? Because if you're talking about Batman Returns, we might have the only three people on planet Earth, or at least in the United States or North America, that.
Sosa,
like
dude, don't even worry about that, bro. It's good. we Jake posts so many shorts, dude. Don't worry about it. Just likes are good.
I know. I saw Justin talking about how, which by the way, for those of you who don't know, which you can see in the live chat, Justin is the host of the Spur of the Moment podcast, which I would point to the RTA sign to tell you that they're on the podcast network, but the sign fell. So fuck Gravity and fuck the live action Yu Yu Hakusho and fuck Batman Returns.
It should have been me, father. I'm sorry I've robbed you of your Boromir.
Oh, God.
The prancing pony. The hobbitses. The halflings.
Did you take a gummy?
Dude, all day.
You're like, motherfucker, I was high before we got here.
Dude, take one of those before church, man. I tell you what, you walk in there praising God.
You're like, this explains. It always explains it. So now is a good time. You're streaming, so I can minimize this. I'm going to pull up our sponsor.
He says that explains it. Ground control to Major Tom.
I think you got that reverse there, good buddy. Major Tom to ground control.
No.
I'm stepping through the door.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay, where do I share my screen? There it is. Oh, I know, but I want to share my screen. There we go.
What are you doing?
I'm playing our sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see it?
I can.
All right, get ready. This
Fellas
is
in the chat, hold on a second. Sosa, you might want to listen to this if you like music.
You might want to listen to this because it's music.
And it's our friends.
And there's no limit to what you wait is
All right, let's play this.
With cannabis, there's no limit to what we can
With cannabis, there's no limit to what we can eat.
imagine. So this is Kamikaze from our friends, the band Again and Forever. Enjoy.
Hey, Jake, you want to know something funny?
There's no audio?
There's no audio. I have to play it. Hold on. I'll play it. It's okay.
Well, no, hang on. Can you not hear it?
No. Well, actually, I can't, but they probably can. So that's fine.
Do what?
About that. They can hear it, but I can't. Well, actually, no. It's coming through my speakers. No, they can't hear it.
Oh, yeah, you'll have to play it.
Okay. All right.
Either that or I can.
So, Kamikaze?
Yes, but you should be able to. Oh, hang on. I can do it. I just got to hit share sound too.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Okay.
We're not that great at this. I still can't hear it, Jake.
Well, there's no audio yet.
Oh, my bad. There we go. Perfect. And that was our good friends again and forever. Such a good song. I still like Turn the best.
Turned is good. Turned is very good. Like, and they've got a lot of other really, really good songs. So you can check them out there again and forever on YouTube. Definitely check them out. And then you can also check out the lead singer, Virus Fox, and myself do a podcast also on YouTube and Spotify and all that. Also part of the Arate Podcast Network, Toon Talk 2.0, where every week we talk about various things relating to pop culture and just the world today. So you'll hear some more stuff from Again and Forever on that channel as well. But check them out. Great band. What?
Was that all we got? Is that all we got, Captain?
For Again and Forever, yes. But that actually reminds me. So one of the funniest parts of Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime, is in the Chapter Black arc. Kuwabara cannot go out and save the world one random night because he and his friends have tickets to go see the rock band Megaliga.
Oh, that's not it. That's not Metallica.
I'm not making it up.
Megaliga.
Yeah, and just imagine Chris Sabat.
Inner garbage man.
But yet it works for Kuwabara's voice in the anime. It really does, even when he's being an idiot. It just works.
What do you mean? Chris Sabat. What do you mean, Yusuke? Yusuke me? Let's do Yusuke you. I love Kuwabara, dude. He's my favorite. Like, he's my favorite.
That's just it. Yu Yu Hakusho really doesn't have any bad or lacking characters.
No, and I love Kuwabara, dude. This dude refused to stop fighting. He would go and get his ass beat. I'm sitting here stuttering like an idiot. Anyway, that shit was, I loved it, man. He would come and get his ass beat, and then when it's like Yusuke, he didn't have any superhuman strength before, but he was able to throw those guys like that, and I was like,
that's another thing. Yes,
man. I was like,
well,
if you're
Yusuke,
bring it alive, you got to make it real. But
Yusuke does get tougher when he's able to access his spirit energy, which is same concept as Ki in Dragon Ball. You can manipulate it to make yourself sturdier, hit harder, move faster, all that good stuff.
Yep. Ki, chi, spirit, all that stuff. It's all the same.
Well, in Japanese, it's actually Reiki. So it's literally spirit
Just think
energy.
Above your navel. Just down here.
Which I love, though, because so in Japanese, the spirit gun is Ray gun, which is correct because Ray is spirit in Japanese. So Ray gun.
Raygon.
Is
Raygon through to the other side.
Yeah. So I honestly, as far as this adaptation goes, and I know I'm biased, I give it to no. Well, hang on. Are we going to rate this on a scale of 5 or 10?
It's a kinky 6.
So I'm assuming 10. No, out of 10
butt stuff. Kinky 6. I think this is one that you can, hang out with for a while.
Hey, I don't know about any of that butt stuff. Sounds a little weird.
Shit. Japanese MGK knows all about butt stuff.
Unless it's with Yukina.
Oh, man.
Because then she could just heal it afterwards and make it all better.
And wasn't it Botan who fell in love with Kuwabara?
No, that's Yukina. And kind of.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, they're both. Well, I guess Botan's technically not a demon, so they're both non-humans with blue hair.
Listen, if you want to not waste, but if you want to fill about 5 hours of your time with a decent show, I would recommend the original. Watching it. I would recommend watching it, but just go into it with an open mind. Honestly, it felt like Game of Death.
Little bit. It really did. Wow.
I know, that beautiful mind moment when it seriously felt like they were going from floor to floor, and I was just like, man, this is awfully familiar.
That's legitimately the Saint Beast arc, but yeah, it is a little Game of Death-esque. Although it's more like the elimination of the party, because they go in as four and it ends up with Yusuke in the final fight. So so that's also the other thing. The fight between Yusuke and Toguro is a huge, 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 huge deal, at least in the Dark Tournament, because they do fight once before, but Toguro fakes losing.
Toguro was the big guy with the glasses, right?
The muscles, yes.
So in the adaptation, he faked, right?
I don't think so. Because his death.
Or what in the anime, he faked?
The first fight. By the time the whole reason the Dark Tournament happens is because Sakyo is trying to.
Yusuke was supposed to win, right?
He did win.
No. The Dark Tournament. I mean, at first he was supposed to win. The game was actually rigged in their favor.
Correct. They threw the fight.
Yeah, but then it turned into something else.
Well, because I forget exactly why they wanted to. I think Toguro wanted to see. That's what it ultimately was. Sakyo didn't know this. Toguro wanted to see if Yusuke was strong enough to inherit Genkai's orb, because in the end, Toguro wanted Genkai's student to defeat him. It makes so much more sense in the anime. It really does, because Toguro regrets his decisions, but he's not gonna just give up. You know what I mean? Because he wants to be proven wrong.
Listen, people, just because you say it's filler doesn't necessarily mean it's all filler. Some of that builds a character up, and then we get to know and love that character from some filler. And then that filler makes that person who they are, as well as the main stories.
Well, that's just it, though, because Yu Yu Hakusho, at least to my knowledge, doesn't really have...
talking Dragon Ball, motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. Why do people hate on the Dragon Ball filler? It's really not... First of all, Dragon Ball doesn't have a lot of filler. It's mostly elongating events. But as far as actual filler episodes, there's not a lot.
If you're going to hate Goku and Piccolo trying to get their freaking driver's licenses, there's something wrong with you, because that's the greatest episodes ever.
There's a reason every Dragon Ball fan knows what you're talking about. And
you're driving like a grandma. What? Hit the dirt.
Listen, though, but that's true, because there is kind of this weird thing that happens, at least with anime. I think it happens in every fandom, but yeah, it does, because there are Lord of the Rings jokes too. But particularly in anime, it seems like the love language of anime fans is making fun of the series that we all love. Because, oh my god, we love cracking jokes at the expense of Dragon Ball and the dub-isms. And we love it, but at the same time, we love it. Because we'll be the first ones to be like making a joke about, i.e. Piccolo hit the dirt. But if somebody says Dragon Ball stupid, it's like, you need to shut your fucking mouth.
Listen, I can explain exactly what you're trying to say right now. Dana Carey said the same thing, and it's about Dana Carey said the people he portrays or personifies, he respects those people, and that's why he's essentially doing it. He's not doing it to make fun of them. He's doing it to appreciate them and whatnot. And he said that he does not personify people he does not like, because he says that's wrong. And I think it was him. He was saying something about Alec Baldwin. Remember when Alec Baldwin was doing Trump 24/7? I'm starting to lose my voice. Sorry.
That's what happens when you impersonate Kuwabara. Eventually, it just goes away.
Come on, Yusuke! This is bullcrap!
Hey, why don't you come down here and fight me like a man?
You think you can just die? This is bull! Dude, it's not hard to mimic Chris Sabat's voice.
It's really not. You just get it as deep as you possibly can and throw some gravel in there.
What's one of his funniest? I would say I'll give you this. Sean Schimmel, whatever you say his name, King Kai. I love his King Kai. So Chris Sabat. How do you say his name?
Chris Sabat. Yep.
Okay, Chris Sabat. Who's your favorite character from him? I'm kind of Kuwabara now.
I was gonna say, from an acting perspective, probably Kuwabara.
I was gonna say it's between Kuwabara and
his funniest role is definitely Ayami Soma from the original run of Fruits Basket. He just he kills it in that role. But that's not necessarily his best acted, but it's his funniest in my opinion. But yeah, I'd say as far as acting goes, at least what I've seen, because I know Funimation's done a lot of stuff that I'm not caught up on,
Yeah.
frankly. But as far as what I've seen, I think Kuwabara.
Justin says that episode is amazing, but fake Namek is fucking tedious.
Yeah, that's true. But I think Fake Namek was in the manga, yes. I can't remember.
Fake Namek? Oh, with those two aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. This is how we greet each other. It's like, get your hand off me, motherfucker. I don't care what hood you from. Don't touch my face.
And Krillin's over there, I don't even have a nose.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. And then
What?
doesn't he end up having a nose in an episode and he literally breathes in?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Swear
Though.
there's an episode.
Oh my
I can't remember
God.
if it's in Dragon Ball or whatnot, but
I literally think, though, I think it's in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and I think Krillin makes the joke where it's like, if a deaf person's missing fingers, is that an accent or a speech impediment? I think it's Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and I'm pretty sure it's Krillin.
oh man, I want to laugh at that really hard, and it's
Oh,
loud.
I did.
And I can't.
I laughed hardcore.
Oh, it's really hard to stifle that. Oh, that's like so much adrenaline that you just had to stifle down. I just got a boner.
So basically, what you're saying is your spirit sword activated.
My Kuwabara. Oh, that's a joke, people. It's YouTube, and I don't care anymore.
Actually, that's a pretty good intro for getting in the sack with your wife or significant other. Just get in there, tear pants off, and just go. Sword.
Oh, jeez.
It's bigger now.
The other day, I was told, hey, you got a nice, I'll go that. And I was like, thanks. My mom gave it to me for my birthday.
That's right. Justin's correct. He said canonically Krillin doesn't have a nose, and there's actually a bit in the original Dragon Ball when he's fighting Bacterian, I believe at the first Tenkaichi Budokai, and Goku reminds him that he doesn't have a nose. Which that feels like something Toriyama did intentionally just for the joke. Either that or he forgot that he drew Krillin without a nose, and then his editor was probably like, but Krillin doesn't have a nose. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was just really stupid. But I mean,
it's Dragon Ball.
It's Akira Toriyama. No, I mean, you gotta love the guy, but he forgets everything. I'm fairly certain he's an addict.
It actually, and Justin was the one who actually said something about Daima. Maybe he can remind me. When does Daima take place again? Because it's not supposed to be a continuation from Super. I'm given to understand.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm pretty sure it was Justin who said it. So hopefully he hears that and can remind me. But yeah, actually, so for the second sponsorship spot, if you enjoy pop culture podcasts like this one, you should absolutely, because occasionally we delve into politics and other stuff after they beat Boo, but before Beerus shows up. See, and that would honestly be fine. I'd be totally fine with that, which makes sense because Kaioshin is there. But wait, when did they split him and Kibito apart?
In the 5 years after sometime. Because they were split apart at the end of Z.
Okay, that's right. Gotcha. Okay. I couldn't remember when that happened.
I think they asked the dragon to do it, didn't they?
I think they did too. So, but if you like pop culture podcasts, because as I said, sometimes we delve into politics and other stuff, but Spur of the Moment podcast is a very, very entertaining podcast with Justin and the incomparable Jordan, and I actually think their format is genius. Before the tournament with Universe 8. But I think that's after Beerus. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did separate them. So no, this can't be prior to Beerus because Kibito Kai gets separated before the tournament with Universe 8, but it shows a child Kaioshin in the trailer for Daima. So it can't be before Beerus. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going into, as you said, Eric, rightfully so. You got to go into these things with an open mind. I'm looking at it like this. The animation looks fantastic and it's different than what we've seen.
And it's Dragon Ball story, so
I
watched
GT
with an open mind and I liked it until I didn't.
I mean, and that's
I still
fair.
don't hate it. I'll watch it. I just don't search it out.
Well, hey man, and I'm an Oob fan, so I still love the fight
character.
Come on.
Oh.
Oh. Which I remind everyone when they're like, who's the strongest human? And I say Oob. Oob is the strongest human.
Yeah, because they always try to say Krillin, and it's like, no, sir, it's Oob.
Oob.
But then they're like, oh, he's not born yet, and then you gotta defend that point.
Well, okay, but if you're assuming present day, as of right now,
in Z, I mean, you can't, but
at the end of Z, you can. But yes, okay, fair enough. And in Z, prior to the very last episode, you are correct. Technically, that would be Krillin if you abide by the belief that Ten Shinhan is actually, or Tien is actually an alien, which right. I do.
Tell me I'm right again.
Because, and I quote, but if Tien is a human, then he is the strongest human because
I don't think he's human.
I don't think he is either, but I'm just saying if he is the strongest human on Earth because he was able to actually keep semi-perfect Cell at bay. Krillin could not have done that.
Justin said, hot take, I maintain GT is better than Super. It's a hill I'm willing to die on.
Ooh, well, okay, now you know what? Let's dig this hole. Because I don't think you're wrong. I think it depends on your perspective. In terms of things like transformation and stakes, I think GT is actually better. In terms of being truer to like the original Dragon Ball and Toriyama's vision.
Hold on. You said stakes?
Stakes.
Yeah. So like the entire existence being wiped out is not.
But that was never actually going to happen.
Well, Zeno did say if the wrong wish was made there, he was going to erase all of them.
Yes, but there were only like 2 bad guys in the whole tournament on a balance of problem. And plus, okay, Zeno's the creator of all. He has foresight.
Well,
so
also,
he knew what was going to happen before it happened.
Well, motherfucker doesn't even know. No. I think he's just powerful. I think he's like a baby with god powers. Super has no stakes because the ending of Z has to happen. Because did they say that Super actually does take place before the end of Z?
Yes, they did. It has to because of Pan's age. But technically speaking, Pan in Dragon Ball Super Superhero is older than she is in the last episode of Z, at least by a little bit.
Oh no, they're not in danger because GT was a side story. Even Toriyama.
Yeah, I know. We've already Dragon Ball already.
He even admitted, it was a good side story. And what was it? Alternate universe. And I was like, dude, yeah, because when they did Dragon Ball Heroes, I can't talk. When they did Dragon Ball Heroes, they tied all that together, and I was like, that is awesome.
Well, as I pointed out before, I'll point it out again. Dragon Ball already established the existence of multiple timelines and multiple universes in its own story. So Toriyama and Toei have carte blanche to write whatever story they want because all you have to do is say it just takes place in a splintered timeline. Like they actually wrote it into their canon with the time rings and all that jazz. So
we gonna talk about that Super Saiyan 4 design. That shit was sick.
Oh yeah, Super Saiyan 4 was awesome.
I want that red coat.
Although I'll be honest, I kind of disagree with it being called Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, I think it's not Super Saiyan. It's more like an animalistic form. Honestly, you want to call Gohan's new form? They call it Beast form or Beast. Technically, Super Saiyan 4 should be called that, right?
Yeah, and I would agree with that.
More sense than that bullshit they gave Gohan, that white hair. I'm just like that white hair. That was.
Well, but again, I went through this. My conspiracy theory is that Gohan's hair is white because it is the Super Saiyan form of Mystic Gohan. Much like, which again, they've already outlined this. So Super Saiyan Blue is just Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
All right, I'm down with that. That makes sense. And now that you say it that way, it looks better.
I mean, I said it that way when we reviewed Dragon Ball Super
It
Superhero.
doesn't look bad.
I know it
I'm
was
not
a
saying
long
that.
time ago.
It's fantastic, but
that's also why I maintain that
gotta hate
Orange Piccolo is just the super Namekian.
Oh my gosh, though, man! I was like, we couldn't have thought something better.
No, but I mean, fuck, even his antennas stand up.
I was
It's
like,
just
really?
Super Saiyan
Orange?
for
The Dragon Balls are
Namekians.
orange, man. Like, come on, is that what it is?
Yes, because it's. Oh no, I'm sorry, I take that back. So Piccolo's orange form is Super Saiyan God, but for Namekians.
Yeah.
So it's Super Namekian God, Namekian. So wait,
I love that movie. Hate Orange Piccolo, dude. I'm so with you on that. Orange Piccolo was so dumb, and
oh,
he didn't earn that form. He didn't earn it.
Technically,
Hit
he
the
did.
dirt.
He just wished. I know the whole movie was contrived, but I still liked it better than I thought I would. But Justin, you'll appreciate. Justin would have loved our joke that we made at the beginning of the movie.
That like 3 people turned around and started cracking up.
I know. I was super mad that it didn't get more.
As soon as it popped up, both me and Jake were like,
waves and rocks.
Like half the theater started laughing.
And there was literally like one guy was like,
people.
ah.
Dude, and did you notice how like the theater like barely didn't have that many people in it, but yet somehow we all ended up almost near each other. We didn't even know anyone.
Yeah, I know, right? It was weird.
Well, that was IMAX, wasn't it?
Yeah, we saw it in IMAX.
Oh, yeah, we did above the. Somebody told me they said the best seat is to sit in front of the
rail thing. Yeah,
the rail thing for the handicap seating, and
that's horseshit.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
No, it's horse. I honestly, IMAX, your best spot is right in the middle, just like every other movie theater in existence.
I don't know, dude. I really like sitting at the very front row, and everyone's like, "Oh, why?" And I was like, "You got to look up." And I was like, "Yeah," but I was like, when you're looking up, it's like huge, and you're like, "I can see up that dude's nose."
I don't like it because the angle gets off.
There's a bogey on me.
Which actually, that's another reason I want to go see Godzilla -1 Color, because when I saw it in the theater, I wasn't in the front row, but I was in that front section, so I did spend the whole movie kind of like this. And it wasn't terrible, but I didn't like it.
That's a racist movie. Minus color.
Well, it is Japanese.
It's 2024, sir. You better get out of that bullshit. Don't make me call my sister.
You have a sister.
Yeah, she lives next to you, the one without teeth.
My God.
Jake told me that one of his neighbors was hitting on him, and I was like, the one with no teeth? And he's just like, no! The good-looking one. I was like, oh, the one with teeth, but no hair. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if you said that. That was for comedic value. All right, we are rambling. So, basically...
My recommendation for everyone is if you have not watched either version of Yu Yu Hakusho...
Watch the anime first.
No, watch the live action first.
Okay.
So that way you won't ruin it for yourself. Because if you watch the anime first, you will hate the live action. Or, I mean, personally, I think you should just watch the anime and fuck the live action.
Because I've seen the anime once and a half now, and I still like the live action.
Man, the Dark Tournament arc, though, it's...
No, don't get me wrong. It was all rushed, and that was extremely disappointing. But at the same time, they had to get it out there because, that's all I got.
I mean, I guess in their defense, they were told, make this show. This is your budget. We're ordering 5 episodes. So, I mean, you work with what you can, I suppose. But,
well, they got like budget Han from Fast and the Furious. They got Japanese MGK. Yeah. And they got some dude with red hair.
A red wig, mind you.
Hey.
And it was CGI body and a CGI bodysuit.
Like I said, it gets a kinky 6. I think that's a fair assessment. I'm gonna start saying that now. When girls say, "What do you rate me?"
It's a kinky 6.
That would be bad. They'd be like, "Oh, that's what you think I am?"
Okay, so I this is a legitimate question. Would you rather have a kinky six or a boring nine?
Six, six, six.
That's the that's the correct answer.
Pick up sticks. Popeye's chicken's fucking awesome.
Just priest, maybe.
I command you in the name of Lucifer to spread the blood of the innocent. Dude,
Chicago.
Chicago's fucking awesome.
Now that hurt the both of us.
We just watched that last night.
Oh god. Beefy, I think I'm in trouble.
I'm really burning now.
You know that's Quentin Tarantino, right?
Yeah, that was great, man, dude. His eyes. And last night, I actually told my wife that. I was like, "Hey, did you know?" I was like, "That's Quentin Tarantino." She's like, "What? No." And I was like, "Yes." And she's like,
one of
"Yeah."
the best lines in the movie, and one of the few times I give Quentin Tarantino credit. You make the Lord very nervous.
Oh man.
And then Keith David steals the show as the homeless guy. Oh, you going all crazy on me? I'll show you some crazy eye. Let's get busy.
Oh, what you gonna do, Snaggletooth? Oh man, wanna get a gelati?
Can I wash my winky in your kitchen sink?
Oh man, I tell you what, like I don't think there are movies coming out today that have one-liners like some of the
No.
movies we grew up with.
Hey, Valerie! I'm sorry.
I got hit by a light attached to a bunch of metal. That's a train, son. Don't stand in front of those.
Okay. Yeah, we're rambling. So this colossal clusterfuck has been the Average Intelligence Podcast.
Oh, hey nipples.
Oh, sorry, nipple.
I love how that's fucking Ron Howard's brother. Fucking Clint, dude. That dude has no chill.
Okay, maybe
I just
not.
love it when he's going and he's like, ooh.
Okay, maybe not that horrible, but still pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, we were rambling.
Yep, we're rambling. Thank you for enjoying this. Thank you for enduring this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. As always, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Check out the Spur of the Moment podcast and the band Again and Forever. And thanks to the convenience of the internet, you can check them all out on the same place.
And check out Toon Talk 2.0.
Oh, yeah, them too. You can check it all out at the same place, rtmedia.org. And boy, the shorts for this are going to be fun.
That's just going to be what I was thinking. All right. Sayonara, everybody.